Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Martin. Let's talk about books. The first book I'm sharing today is The Eighth Day by Diane Salerni. What if there were an extra day of the week? That's the idea behind this science fiction book. And when Jax wakes up to a world without any people in it, he is just assuming it is, the zombie apocalypse, right? End of the world. But then he runs into his 18-year-old guardian and learns, no, it's not the end of the world. It's just the eighth day. It's this extra day sandwiched in between Wednesday and Thursday. And some people, like Jax and his guardian Riley, are these people called transitioners. They're able to live in all 8 days of the week, so the normal 7 and then this eighth day, while others, including Evangeline, who turns out it's this teenage girl hiding in the house next door, she exists only on this special day and not the other 7. There's a reason that Evangeline is hiding. There's a group of people who wish to use her in order to destroy the normal 7-day world and everyone who live in it. And now that Jax is aware of the fact that this 8th day exists and that Evangeline and others like her are there, what can he do to help? Read the book, The 8th Day. It's by Salerni, and it's in the sci-fi section. Our second book today is Restart by Gordon Korman. You could search up any of Gordon Korman's books in the library. He's got everything from realistic to humor, just a lot of great reads by him. You'll find something that you'll just love. This is one of my favorites by him in the realistic section. What if you got a chance to just start all over? Let's take a look at the trailer, find out more about this book.
Hi, my name is Gordon Gorman. Wait, can I get a restart? Hi, my name is Gordon Corman, and I'm the author of Restart. What if the worst kid in the whole school got a total do-over on his life? That's Chase Ambrose. He's basically the big jerk. He's a bully, pushes people around. 90% of the kids in that school are terrified of Chase. And what happens is, he falls off his roof. He's got one of those sort of low sloping ones. Lands on his head. He's okay, but he loses his memory. Total amnesia. But in the case of a kid like Chase, when you forget everything, one of the things you forget is what a big jerk you are. So will he ultimately go back to the kind of jerk and bully that he was before? Or is this his chance to restart his life and be a different kind of person? It's especially hard for Chase because the kids he gravitates towards now, the artsy crowd and the video club, they're the ones he bullied the most in his old life. He has to choose to be the new Chase. It really is a difficult thing to restart your life. Obviously, Chase's situation is pretty unique. Not that many of us are former bullies who fall off the roof and get amnesia. How awesome would it be to get a total do-over at your life? You want to find out, you gotta read Restart. Look for Restart at your Scholastic Book Fair. Hi, my name is...
Again, you could find that one in the realistic fiction section under Corman. Storm Runners by Roland Smith. This is a nice short adventure book if you're looking for something quick to read. Very exciting. Chase and his father, it's such a great name for the character. He and his dad are storm runners, and they are chasing storms, racing across the country. They are following everything from the hurricanes to the tornadoes, the floods. Basically, anywhere bad weather is happening, they are not far behind. And Chase is learning more on the road, he thinks, than he ever would just sitting in a classroom. So when his dad yanks him from school for days or weeks at a time, he doesn't think anything of it. But when the hurricane of the century hits, he is going to be tested in ways he never imagined. If you are someone who loves to follow bad weather, loves to go outside when there are, huge thunderstorms or tornado sirens going off. If you love to follow the Weather Channel, this is the book for you. Find out how it goes for Chase and his dad when that awful hurricane comes across and they are stuck right in the eye of the storm. Roland Smith is the author in Adventure. Take a look. Ranger's Apprentice, this is book 1, which is The Runes of Gorlon. John Flanagan writes the story in the fantasy section. This one it's a tough one to talk about without giving away too much. So I'm going to have to kind of read to you just a little description rather than telling you in my own words. The Rangers have always scared our main character in the past with their dark cloaks and shadowy ways. The villagers believe the Rangers practice magic that makes them invisible to ordinary people. And now 15-year-old Will, always small for his age, has been chosen as a Ranger's apprentice. What he doesn't yet realize is that the Rangers are the protectors of the kingdom. Highly trained in the skills of battle and surveillance, they fight the battles before the battles reach the people. And as Will is about to learn, there is a large battle brewing. I loved the idea of Will learning to be one of these rangers, one of these fighters, thinking he knows ahead of time what these rangers do, and then not knowing at all the mystery surrounding that. You've got to read the first few chapters and you'll be let in on some of the mystery as well. Book 1, Ranger's Apprentice, The Runes of Gorlon. If you're looking for a new series in fantasy and you love some of the sword fighting, kind of that medieval times, this would be a fabulous book series for you to check out. Blended by Sharon Draper. Many of you have read Out of My Mind by this author, and anything she writes is, it's just always so good. She writes characters that leap right off the pages, seem like real people, and this book is no exception to that. In Blended, we've got Isabella, who is 11 years old. Isabella's dad is black and her mom is white, and I mention that because it is a part of the story that for Isabella, it stands out. They are her mom and her dad, but it is a part of the story that she can't help thinking about quite a bit of the time. She is dealing with them getting divorced, and she is struggling to feel like she fits anywhere. People are commenting on the color of her skin. They comment on how she looks exotic or unusual because she has sort of this blended look to her skin, according to others. And so she does not feel entirely one race or another. She also is feeling like she's kind of pushed and pulled in different directions as her parents are divorcing, because one week she's Isabella with her dad and his girlfriend, and she's in this fancy house where they're one of the only black families in the neighborhood. And the next week, she's Izzy with her mom and her mom's boyfriend, and they're in this small, kind of not fancy house, but she loves being there, and she does not know where she fits in and doesn't know where she's most comfortable. And being split between her parents is about more than just switching houses and switching nicknames. It's also, for her, about switching identities. And if you're only seen as half of one thing and half of another thing, how can you actually feel whole in any one place? Anyone reading this book is going to connect in some way with that identity piece. Read Blended by Sharon Draper, or look up that author for any of the many books we have by her in our library. Escape from Chernobyl by Andy Marino. This author has other fabulous historical fiction reads in the library. If this one's not available, you could take a look at some others, but this one looks at the events that took place on April 26th, 1986, and the aftermath. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Radiation. the invisible enemy. A little won't hurt you. But in 1986, there was an accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Imagine you were there as the nuclear reactor leaked radiation into the air, into your body. You can't hide. It's everywhere. Every minute you stay decreases your chance of survival. You need to escape before it's too late.
In this book, we have two young siblings who are trying to flee this disaster with their parents. The Communist Party is on their heels. You can take a look at this book by Marino in Historical Fiction. So many great books to share. I've shared a few of them with you today and others that I've shared with you at other points. Please know that you can always put books on hold if they are not available for you at this time, and use our catalog to search up others, either by these authors or other topics that interest you. Thank you so much for your attention. Happy reading.